them to just like blindly trust what I was saying. I appreciated when they asked me for more details to like form their own opinion on it. I never held a grudge against my friends that continued to talk to him. I just think it's like, you should be mindful.
I guess, yeah. Oh, did Andrew just do a raid? Yeah. Oh, sweet. Yo, thank you, Andrew. I don't know if you're tuning in, but thank you for the raid, man. Welcome, Crucible. Guys, we just had a crazy back and forth. We've got Nyx over here, and I got to tell you, she is a raging feminist. Can't be racist towards white people. Can't sexist towards men. I don't know. She thinks.
I said you could be sexist.
She thinks women are the primary victims of war. I didn't say that. We got some crazy shit. She definitely did say that shit.
She hates white people. You hear about that part?
Wait, question. I'm still like, I'm a little confused by the whole boyfriend situation that you were talking about.
I love talking shit about him.
Well, what I guess my confusion
piqued my interest.
Like my confusion is okay, you dated the dude for 2 years, right?
About, yeah.
And you sometimes had consensual sex with him.
A few times.
And sometimes not.
Most of the time, yeah.
That's kind of confusing.
What about it?
Well, if you like, wouldn't you break up with the guy? Like, I don't know. The first time
I touched on this earlier, but like I didn't realize in the moment like what was going on, how bad it was. Like I didn't realize until like it kept going that I was like, I can't be in this situation. This isn't good. This isn't right. It just took me a while to process it.
Can I ask you, have you, over the course of a week, was there ever a time where on one day you did have consensual sex with him and then like a couple days later you didn't?
Yeah.
So could the pattern ever have looked like this? Consensual sex, non-consensual, consensual sex, non-consensual.
Like back and forth?
Back and forth.
Sure. There was probably a time where that pattern happened, yeah. But like I was saying, more often than not, it was non-consensual. There were very few times where I was like genuinely wanted to have sex with him. Ask all the questions you want. I love talking about this.
I have to just, I want to be like delicate with it because it's obviously.
No, feel free.
Did you ever give him a non-consensual BJ?
No.
Okay.
I never gave him one willingly. There you go.
Wait, but so you did give him a BJ?
Yeah, because he asked me to, and I didn't do it willingly.
So he physically grabbed your head and forced you to do it?
Not physically grab. Like, he'd be like, can you give me head? I'm like, and he'd be like, please, pretty, please give me head.
And then you consented to doing it?
Coercion isn't consent.
But he didn't, you're saying he never physically forced you?
Well, do you agree that coercion is like a form of
Well, it would depend what you mean by coercion.
Like, he would keep asking, and even after I established that I didn't want to, and then it would get to a point where I was just like so uncomfortable, I did it to like just to get him to shut up, basically, or like to get it to be over with. Like I never willingly wanted to. I was never like, can I please give you head?
Well, I think that
I don't think men should be pushy like that.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between pushy and coercion.
Yeah,
but so what was he doing specifically that was coercive?
You know, he would ask, I'd say no. He would like, sometimes he would get mopey. Sometimes he would like mopey to try to make me like feel bad. And then he'd be like, can we have sex? And then I'm like, are you going to keep whining if I say no? Basically. And then.
You know what?
Because remember how I told you,
under this definition, I have been SA'd.
I'm so sorry to hear that. No, I'm sorry to hear that.
I was a little tired, and my girl at the time, she was a firecracker, man. Like she always wanted to fuck. Sometimes I had to be like, girl, chill. And she was always respectful, right? But a couple times she was a little mopey, and she started, kissing me on my neck, and I was like, I'm gonna have to slang some dick. Yeah. Was I SA'd though because she was mopey? She was mopey, bro.
She was doing it with if she was doing it with the intention to try to coerce you into saying
she was definitely trying to convince me
because you said
to fuck her.
You said that she was like kissing up on you and shit after you said no.
Popping her titties out and fucking taking her clothes off.
I think that's coercion. Like genuinely, that makes me uncomfortable.
What's that Borat thing, Nick? Oh wait, never mind. It's not related.
I think that is coercion.
Was I SA'd?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. But it's also like,
oh my gosh.
Santa Barbara PD, I'm coming. I'm coming. File that police report. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, but look. Okay, so he would get, but would he ever like grab you and like physically force you?
Not into giving head, but like, yeah, he would just start putting hands on me.
Like he'd grab your boob.
Mm-hmm. Like he would just start going. Without he wouldn't even like look at me or like my face to see how I was reacting. He would just go.
You're a little deadpan though. Can you like
what?
Like was it a look of pure disgust you gave him or?
Well, there were a few times where I would just like, I'd be like laying on the bed and I would just be like zoning out completely and I wouldn't be present at all. And then he would start and then afterwards he would realize I'm not reacting. I'm not even doing anything. And then he's like, oh, did you not want to have sex? And then I'm like,
Did he stop?
Did you?
Sometimes.
So there's an important distinction here, which is like, yes, there is a difference between like, okay, my boyfriend or my girlfriend just like won't shut up and won't leave me alone. And so like, let's just do it, like, or whatever. And then
I still think that's coercion.
Sure, yeah, and there's also the physiological response to it too, meaning that, for example, especially if somebody's disassociating, that means that their nervous system does not feel safe with this person and understands that there's danger present, and that's where I think a very distinct line between coercion comes, because their mind goes numb, they get brain fog, they start to disassociate from their body. Afterwards, their body can even shake or feel psychological and physiological symptoms because they realize that they were in shutdown and fight or flight mode. It's literally fight, flight, or freeze. Freeze is one of those responses. And so, yeah, like, again, like, there's a difference between a relationship dynamic where somebody feels safe to say no and like be like, no, just like fuck off, we're not having sex tonight, and a relationship that's built on a series of events or a relationship pattern where they don't feel safe to be honoring their boundaries and where it's becoming expected and almost conditioned for a person to respond and not have any party's boundaries honored. And that's where I think coercion is.
Did you ever feel like you were in danger from him?
I wouldn't say in danger. I didn't think he was ever going to like harm me, but I definitely I guess I felt in danger in the sense that like every time I hung out with him, I knew he was going to ask for sex, and so I felt unsafe and uncomfortable around him. But I never.
You're dating the guy, isn't it kind of expected that he's going to ask to have sex? Right?
Well, yeah, it's not a bad thing that he asked for sex. It's just that I knew, even if I said no, like it was going to happen.
Were there any instances of other cases or scenarios where he would violate your boundaries and you felt like you couldn't say no?
In what way?
I mean, it could be anything in the little things, like
anything,
like about like how he interacted with you on dates, how he responded to other boundaries around your family, around your friends.
I would say, I don't know. This sounds a little bit stupid, but yeah, I would be like, can you tell me if you talk to girls? And he'd be like, no, that's stupid. Why are you like? And I guess that was like a boundary in my way.
Okay, so you never gave a consensual BJ.
No.
But he also never physically forced you to do it.
No.
You were coerced.
Yes.
And that would involve him asking you a couple times and being mopey.
Sometimes that was the method he chose.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's a really terrible dynamic, and men should not be, I guess sometimes they use the term sex pest or whatever. I don't know if this meets the legal definition of SA.
Sure. It was violating to me. I felt really uncomfortable. I felt like I was not being respected. But this is only one of the scenarios. There were other scenarios where I was definitely like, I just didn't want to.
But he didn't fit. I guess like when I think of coercion, I'm thinking of like threats, intimidation.
Do you want like my worst example? It's not violent. It's just very uncomfortable.
Sure, but really quick question on that.
Yeah.
Is the worst example, was that pretty common? Well, I guess not if it was the worst.
If it was the worst one. I don't know. This is also just the worst one that I can remember. There were definitely times where I'm just like, I can't remember it at all. But this one, it was his birthday, and then I like started the day by saying like, hey, I know it's like your birthday and everything, but I really, really don't want to have sex today. Like I just feel really, really bad today. I really don't want to. And he's like,
Okay.
sure, of course. We hang out. It's like, we spend the whole day together. We're with his friends. We go to the pool with his friends, and I guess he starts like trying to make advances. And then I'm like, hey, like remember what I told you? Like I really kind of really don't want to. And then he's like, oh yeah, of course, that's fine. But then I was like, oh, like I gotta go home from the pool now, and I don't think we can hang out after because I got to shower and everything. And he's like, oh, why don't I just drive you to your house and then like I'll just wait for you while you shower. And then I was like, sure, if you promise that you won't try anything. And he was like, yeah, of course, I'll just take you home. I get in the shower, and then he's like, hey, can I watch you shower? And I'm like, as long as you promise you don't do anything, 'cause I really don't want to. And I think you can see where the rest of that goes.
Okay.
Unless you need me to elaborate.
I don't know. Women on the panel, do you think that that's SA? I think it could be. I think that could be. I think that could be SA.
I think that there is a better example of like what is possibly actually SA.
There was definitely like more subtle moments where like it was just like talking me into it, or like not really asking for my consent or like looking for it. But that one was probably definitely the worst, like most outward one.
Not gonna hold up in court, but it could be.
Yeah, because there's no evidence for that. It's just like she said, he said, you know. That's why I never took it to court.
Yeah, I could see
But
that as a form
why-
of conditioning in the relationship.
You
Like
stayed.
conditioning me into being okay with it.
You stayed
Yeah.
with him for 2 years.
Yeah.
So you're saying there was like it would be on Monday you have consensual sex, Thursday non-consensual, Saturday consensual, Monday non-consensual, Wednesday consensual. Like that was the pattern, kind of could be.
Yeah, it could happen like that. Yeah.
Did you ever talk to him about this issue that you were having with him, like not during sex?
There were a few times where I were like, hey, I don't really like how we treat sex in our relationship. And then he'd be like, oh, yeah, of course. And then I'd be like, okay, so is anything going to change? And then like nothing would really change.
Why did you stay for 2 years?
Like I said, I just didn't realize how bad it was. And I just like, and then by the time I did realize that it was SA, I was just like, I felt like I was in too deep, like the sunken cost fallacy. I was like, I've been with this guy for so long. It's my first relationship. I feel like I really like him. I just wish he would treat me better. And then the breaking point was just I realized he wasn't going to treat me better. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll leave. And then after that, I kind of realized the severity of the situation.
Yeah, as a gentle reminder, there's people who get hit by their partners who stay for decades.
Yeah.
So it's about the trauma
You
bond that
don't
gets
know
formed.
until you're in that situation. Like it's
Yeah.
so much easier to say that you should just leave than
Yeah.
actually doing it.
It literally mimics an addiction. There's dopamine highs where they're giving you attention, love, gifts, affection, sudden withdrawal, cortisol. And
Might
it
I
repeats.
ask?
Yeah.
You said you've dated other men before, and you're currently in a new relationship. Has this been something that's repeated itself in any of your other relationships?
In ways, like I guess that sort of carried over into I don't know. I'm very assertive now when I don't want to have sex, and then I make sure I don't end up having sex. But it has happened
Okay.
in the past where
With other
You know, I feel-
with other men.
yeah, I just get like I get kind of passive, and I'm like I don't really want to have sex, but like I guess I should because he's asking and he wants to, and I think that just comes from the
Would you-
first relationship.
What you just described there, though, would you categorize that as SA?
I don't know if those situations were SA because they definitely weren't as coercive as him.
Okay,
But
so
I
he was nagging you, like he was really being mopey.
Or
And
actually, now
pushy.
that I think about it, in my second relationship, I feel like he was a little more like manipulative about it, kind of. I don't know.
Manipulative about it?
I don't know. I would just. It's so complicated. It was a really weird relationship.
What about your current person you're with.
I haven't felt that with him.
But you have had consensual sex with
Yeah.
him. Okay, all the sex you've had with him has been consensual.
Yes.
Okay, but you have experienced this sort of thing with other men.
Yeah, where I felt like I was talked into it.
Talked into it.
Or like, like sort of
Talked into
pushed
it.
into it. Or like, where they didn't like outwardly ask for my consent and I kind of was passive about it. That sort of situation. Yeah, sure, that's happened a lot. Not a lot. Whatever.
Wait, but so, like, I'm sure everybody here has had sex, whether for the first time or whether for the hundredth time with a partner. Did you all ask for affirmative consent before you had sex with them? And if not, did you SA them? Did they SA you?
I just think if someone says they don't feel like having sex, they should just
No, but she made a delineation where they don't ask specifically for affirmative consent.
Well, in those situations, I don't blame them for like that. I wouldn't call that sexual assault, but I would definitely say that it was a little uncomfortable. Like, it's different if, I don't say anything and then I'm just like go about it as usual. But if I'm dead ass just like laying there completely deadpan and I'm not responding to you, shouldn't you be a little attentive to that and be like, oh, maybe she doesn't want to. Did I even ask her? Like, did I check with her?
Well, question, did you ever have, like, you did consent at some points with the one boyfriend?
Yeah, like I would initiate
Would-
or I'd be actively enthusiastic about it.
You would be
so-
enthusiastic?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because some women can be, what is it, pillow princess, or what is it? What's the term?
Yeah, pillow princess,
I don't
where
know,
they just
it's
like
it's definitely,
Yeah.
They're consenting, but they're not
yeah, but they're
super
still
active.
they're
you
still
know?
enthusiastic about it, aren't they? They're still like engaging with you, aren't they?
Okay, but I've like hooked up with a guy before that just also it's like the worst one. But I was like on top, like whatever, in cowgirl, and I looked down at his face, and he's like completely like dead face.
Was he engaged with you otherwise?
Ooh.
Because
Well, yeah,
low-key,
but it was
some
just, like,
guys just
so
be doing
insanely
that.
blank.
Like,
So
yeah.
like, it's not that he wasn't enjoying himself.
Sounds like
it's
you
just,
SA'd
like,
him, Pos.
No, he initiated
no,
it.
I know,
saying,
but
like-
seems like you might have SA'd him, Pos. Just saying.
I'm saying, like, if they're not engaging with you, if they're not enthusiastic about it at all, if they're not present, then like that should set off as like that should be a signal to you. But like, if in that situation he was just deadpan, but he was otherwise responding, like some guys just be doing that.
But
I
how do
think
you,
it's just how he is.
Exactly. Like, so
yeah.
that just be happening.
but how would you differentiate necessarily? Like, what if the woman, like some women might experience like physical pain during sex, for example, and some women are like super timid, but it's like clearly like she's given you affirmative consent, but like her demeanor would mirror that to some degree of like the timidity that you expressed when you were.
Then she gave you consent. What I'm saying
Right.
is, if she starts acting like that and you realize that you didn't outwardly ask for consent, like it's not a bad thing to check, but it's also like if you didn't check, that's kind of.
I guess then I don't know, the affirmative consent thing though, it's like, well, if you don't get affirmative consent,
I
then
don't
is
think
it-
that you need
I think
to
you
say,
can
like,
still consent even if there wasn't affirmative consent.
Yeah, there's nonverbal consent, like
Right,
them actively
nonverbal, body
engaging with you, and
language.
like if the act is mutual and you're both fucking
Okay.
going at it, that's
Well, that is a. I don't know, like the non-consensual BJs though. That's confusing because you have to be an active participant to give a BJ.
not necessarily. Do you want me to be explicit?
Oh, like face fuck? Okay, all right. That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. Yes, I guess you could just.
Just fucking sat there and took it, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I was just zoning out, and I'm like, okay, I guess. I don't know.
Look, I don't know what the threshold is for some of these things. The situation though sounds. I don't
Yeah.
know if it passes over to the threshold. The situation though sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, like,
like
I
you
don't know.
want your
This is-
partner to be enthusiastic. You want your girlfriend or boyfriend. You want them to fuck. You want them to fuck.
But like, this is exactly why
You
it
want
took
them to
me so
fuck.
long, because I was just like, I don't know. It took me so long to realize it because of that reason. Like,
Also, honestly, gentlemen, if your girlfriend ain't enthusiastic about it, that's a wrap. You got to find it. You can't, nah.
Oh, God.
You don't be pushy with
How
that
do we get
shit.
back
Don't
here
be
again?
pushy with that shit, gentlemen. Don't be a little bitch. Be a real G and jerk off when she leaves. Anyways, all right,
much
moving on.
preferred that.
Moving on.
Much
all right.
preferred.
All right, you gotta do some OG penitentiary shit and just
Thought you were gonna say penetration.
masturbate.
Oh, hell no, not again.
You just gotta shit. Or find another woman. Anyways, okay, moving on. Just a couple more things from the questionnaire. Women are oppressed in the USA. Why is that? How's
Oh,
that?
I just said that because I was thinking like, if we have to put laws in place to make sure that they're not oppressed, they're probably being oppressed.
Yeah, how though? How are women oppressed in the USA?
Well, I think like the whole you can't like refuse to hire someone based on their sex or gender. I think that's definitely part of it. That's like one example.
But there's a law against it. so-
Exactly. I was thinking like since we had to put laws in place, I don't know. I wasn't thinking of these questions very black and white.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You also, women do not have equal rights to men in the USA, to which...
That's, again, I was thinking like since we had to put those laws in place.
Yeah, but so what rights do men have that women don't today?
Today.
Yeah, today.
Well, I was saying like the laws were put in place already to try to ensure that we had equal rights.
I mean,
You also circled that one, so...
yeah, I understand. I also wasn't thinking of it so black and white, and now I have
Okay,
one brain
cop
cell.
out.
So,
All right, so
Fair.
so just to be clear, women have equal rights in the USA. You would affirmatively state that.
I would say like from a legal standpoint, yes, but I can't say for sure that like actively we do.
What about you?
I agree. Like, as far as like laws go,
Wunderbar. Wonderful. Okay, let's see.
Technically not though.
Isabella, you're going to read these for us if you can, please.
All right.
Well, can you call that equal rights though if men don't have to like deal with abortion? Men don't have to deal with abortion, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah, it's just the
I mean,
one law
my
that's
quick-
like different.
My quick rebuttal, though, is that men don't have reproductive rights. So it wouldn't, I don't think an inequality exists in the way that you don't think it does. So I think women have a right as it relates to reproduction that men don't. So if you actually wanted to create equality between men and women, the way you would actually create true equality would be to completely walk back all abortion rights for women. Then they would be equal between men and women. That would be equal.
well, what about like the fact that men can just go in and get a vasectomy, but if a woman wants to get her tubes tied,
Oh boy, this one. Okay, go ahead.
you have to have
This is
like,
you're saying
get where
like
I'm going
you need to
with
get
it.
the husband's permission or something.
in most cases, not every doctor's
Is
like
this
that.
even true? Is anybody in the medical field? I could.
I have friends that have been turned down because they're not
Well,
married or they don't have enough kids.
So here's what I know is that getting your tubes tied is a more invasive procedure than getting a vasectomy. So I think what ends up happening is feminists will look at this and say, well, it's way easier for men to get to go get a vasectomy, whereas it's much more complicated for women to get their tubes tied. You need to get like maybe a couple follow-up visits. You need to have like a more in-depth consultation. There's like a more invasive surgery, whereas like for the to get the vasectomy, it's like pretty quick. I don't think you have to go under general anesthesia. So I think
AI says that women don't need to get their tubes tied.
I think it's just this feminist myth that it's maybe, look, it's possible in the fucking 50s or 40s or some bullshit. Yeah, probably there was some like sexism or whatever, and the doctors were like, is your husband going to be okay with it or whatever? Today, I don't think it's the case that women have to get approval to get their tubes tied by their husbands.
But just like you were saying, like getting a vasectomy is less invasive. Why wouldn't, just like theoretically speaking,
Sure.
if like getting your tubes tied it's not more invasive than forcing to like be pregnant. You know what I mean?
Wait,
you have
what?
the right to your own body. And so, like, being pregnant also requires follow-up appointments, also requires possibly surgery. Does that make sense or no? That's stupid.
I don't know what the argument is though. Like,
Well, I was
yes,
just-
women get pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah, but never mind.
What
Okay.
if you just got an IUD that's just like 2 seconds up there and then boom, you don't have to worry about getting pregnant? There's like what, like 1% chance?
Yeah, IUDs are
IUDs
pretty
are
effective.
terrible.
Yeah.
They-
Are
yeah,
they?
there's a
No,
lot of
I have one.
complications.
It's great.
Poss is chilling.
I'm
It's
chilling.
great. Vocal fry. Wonderful. Okay, cool. Did we read this chat?
No,
Did
we
sorry,
didn't
did we
read
just
any
read
of the
this one?
chats.
Oh, can you read this one for me,
Yeah,
Isabel?
that was.
We already, we read
we
that
read
one.
this
Did we read it?
Yeah, we read
Yeah.
that one. Because you're like, oh.
The white male patriarchy abolished global slavery.
Pick up you.
We read it.
What about this one? Excuse me.
Brian, keep up your good work. We are currently at, I don't know how to pronounce that, air show, the largest fly air show in the world.
Oshkosh.
We have Russian chocolates for you guys. The postmodern feminists are still learning. Again, in the UK, France, and the US changed the global history of slavery.
Yo, Joe, thank you for the soup chat, man. Really appreciate it. Where's the chocolates, though? Hook it up.
We respect Andrew and Rachel joining. These young ladies are still learning respectfully. The red and black haired lady has no idea. She should talk with Andrew. Best of luck to the ladies. Don't put yourself in fight, flight, or freeze.